All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty simple story about a butterfly and a rose. But don't let that fool you. This is way more than just a fable. Think of it as a mirror, one that reflects our relationships, what we expect from them, and maybe even our own hidden hypocrisies.
So let's kick things off with this idea, which is really at the heart of our story. This quote, it's the lens we're going to view the entire fable through. So hang on to that thought as we go deeper. Our story is, well, it's a classic tale of two pretty fickle hearts. It's set in a world where promises of loyalty can be just as fragile and as fleeting as the dust on a butterfly's wing.
Okay, so meet our two main characters. On one side, you've got the butterfly. He's the inconstant seeker, always chasing after the next new thing. And on the other side, we have the rose, the static vanity who demands absolute, unwavering devotion. All while, secretly enjoying every little breeze that passes by.
So here's how the story starts. A butterfly is totally captivated by a beautiful rose, completely charmed by her blush. And the rose, well, she's dazzled by the gold and silver pattern on his wings. They whisper all these promises, these vows of eternal loyalty to each other. And then, just like that, the butterfly flies away. But time, it stretches on, and when the butterfly finally comes back, he's not met with a warm welcome. Nope. He gets tears, he gets accusations. The rose just cries out, her voice trembling. "Is this your constancy? I saw you with Miss Geranium. I saw you fluttering around Miss Mignonette." She's completely heartbroken.
But the butterfly's reply? It's instant, and it is sharp. He just laughs and throws her words right back at her, saying, "Constancy? The moment I left, I saw the wind, Zephyr, kissing you. You flirted with Mr. Bumblebee and made eyes at every bug that passed by. How can you possibly expect constancy from me?" And there it is, the whole conflict, just laid bare.
And that exchange right there, that's the whole point of the story. This isn't just about a flighty butterfly and a vain rose. It's a really powerful allegory for a double standard we see playing out in our own lives all the time.
So here's the real twist. The rose and the butterfly are basically two sides of the same coin. They each demand a loyalty that they themselves are totally unwilling to give. See, their love wasn't built on character. It was all about superficial stuff, a pattern and a blush. They're literally just reflections of each other's flaws. And this is the exact moment the fable turns that mirror around on us. It forces us to ask a tough question. Are we demanding a level of commitment from others that we aren't willing to give ourselves?
Okay, let's get into this. Because this dynamic, it's not just stuck in some mythical garden. It shows up constantly in our own lives, in ways that are, well, probably very recognizable.
Just take a look at how this plays out day to day. I mean, think about it. We expect our friends to keep our secrets locked down, but then we might go and gossip about their private lives. Or we demand 100% fidelity from a partner, while we keep up our own flirty little connections. And in the work world, oh yeah. Companies demand total loyalty from employees, but they won't think twice about laying people off for a better deal. The names change, but the pattern, it stays the same.
So why does this happen? What is going on here? Well, the source material suggests there are these deeper, almost universal laws that govern this kind of behavior. Let's take a look.
First up, there's a spiritual idea called the law of correspondence, as within, so without. What that really means is that we project our own internal world onto everything around us. We're super quick to spot the flaws in other people that we're secretly hiding in ourselves. The butterfly sees the rose's infidelity so clearly because he himself is unfaithful.
And you know what? There's a scientific parallel to this too. It's called assortative mating. It's the observed tendency for people to pair up with others who are a lot like them, not just in looks or hobbies, but in character traits, including their capacity for loyalty, or, inconstancy. Like really does attract like.
So, if we recognize this pattern in ourselves, or maybe in our relationships, what's the next step? What do we do? Well, that brings us to our final and maybe most important section, how we can actually cultivate our own integrity.
Before we can change a thing, we have to get honest about our own motivations. And this right here is the ultimate question for self-reflection. Are you actually in love with the person for who they are? Or are you just in love with the idea of being wanted, of being their one and only? Because the answer to that, it changes everything.
So what are the big takeaways from this little fable?
First, that the loudest accuser, well, they might just have the most to hide. Second, that superficial attraction is a terrible foundation for anything real. And finally, a thought that's a little cynical but also pretty wise, maybe the butterfly and the rose, in all their flawed glory, actually deserve each other.
And that brings us to our final and I think most empowering insight. The answer isn't to go out and find a more loyal partner or a less demanding friend. The solution is to look inward. It's to stop focusing on the superficial stuff, the petals, and start cultivating the roots of our own character. Because true, lasting loyalty, it's not something you find in other people, it's something you grow within yourself.